Why do values matter in relationships? If you want to improve your relationship skills, strengthen how you connect with others, or are looking for a partner, it's a really good idea to have a solid understanding of your own values as well as understanding the values of others. There are many reasons that values are really important in relationship terms, and in this video I'm going to talk you through 4 reasons why values matter in relationships and how this knowledge can help you improve relationships in many areas of life. Number 1, understanding our own values gives a strong sense of self. Good relationships start with a solid sense of self. And what I mean by a solid sense of self is knowing who you are and being in tune with what you need to be fulfilled and happy in life. Values can be defined as the things that we hold most dear in our lives, representing the standards or founding principles on what means the most to us. They are an intrinsic part of who we are, representing our deepest needs. If you have a strong sense of your values, you will be on solid ground for having a strong sense of self. Number 2, having a sense of self supports good boundaries. A strong sense of self supports us in maintaining solid boundaries. Having good boundaries can be described as the act of taking responsibility for our own thoughts, feelings, and needs, and not taking responsibility for the thoughts, feelings, and needs of others, meaning you're accountable for your own behaviors and don't confuse your own feelings and needs with those of others. If you know exactly what is important to you and you're able to differentiate those things that are important from what might be important to other people, you have a stronger chance of being able to take a healthy degree of responsibility for what is yours. Number 3, negotiating with others to balance your needs with theirs. Good boundaries support healthy, interdependent relationships, unlike codependent relationships where needs and identities are merged and confused, or independent relationships where individuals think solely about what is important for them without taking into consideration what is important to the other person. An interdependent relationship requires an understanding of both people's needs and values and an ongoing negotiation between the two parties to support each other in getting their needs met. Number 4, compatibility in relationships starts with shared values. In my experience as a relationship coach and having coached hundreds of couples in couples coaching over the years, I've seen a strong correlation between successful, happy relationships and shared values. It makes sense because if you're in a partnership with someone who has very different values to you, you're going to find that you're in constant negotiation around how to prioritize things and what is most important. In an extreme form, you may even find that your values are fundamentally conflicting. I'm going to give you an illustration of this with an example from my own life. I describe myself as a wheatgrass person, and what I mean by this is I care deeply about health and spend a lot of time thinking and planning about health and how I can make it a priority in my life. I will also drink wheatgrass shots because health is my most important value. Many years ago, in my early years, before I learned about healthy relationships and the importance of qualifying relationships, before getting into deep, I found myself in a relationship with someone who had substance dependencies. It turned out that his idea of a good night out was consuming large amounts of alcohol, and unbeknown to me, this included other substances. It didn't matter to him if it affected his well-being or his functioning in everyday life, and what really mattered to him was the freedom of losing himself in the moment. And that manifested in a form of partying that was fundamentally opposite to the one of my own and my own core values. There was no way around it. He didn't value health, and I couldn't stop feeling deeply disconnected because of his disinterest in the value of personal growth, and he refused to look deeper underneath that surface to what drove his unhealthy behaviors. We didn't share the same values, so we were fundamentally incompatible. So my recommendation to you is that if you haven't already done so, take some time to really get to know what is most important in your values, your core values. Have a think about the values of those around you and whether their values are in alignment with yours. Understanding your own values and those of others will give you very helpful insights in how you relate to them. If you're interested in finding out more about relationship skills, boundaries, good communication, and tips for improving partnerships or dating skills, you'll find lots of great videos on these subjects in my channel. I love sharing my tools and my tips and guidance with you and supporting you on your journey to thriving relationships. Please remember to subscribe to the channel so we can travel this path together.